Welcome to a new episode of EY India Insights, where we explore the trends shaping industries and enabling long term value creation. In today's episode, we discuss how pharmaceutical packaging is evolving from a functional necessity into a strategic lever for sustainability, regulatory compliance, and supply chain resilience. I'm pleased to be joined by Kapil Bansal, Partner, Energy Transition and Decarbonization, EY India. Kapil works closely with Indian and global organizations to drive energy transition, decarbonization, and sustainable transformation, helping businesses navigate regulatory change, reduce carbon footprints, and build future ready value chains. He will share insights on sustainable packaging innovations, circular economy models, and what pharma organizations need to do to stay ahead. Welcome, Kapil. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Romita. Pleasure is all mine.
Kapil, my first query is: pharmaceutical packaging has traditionally focused on safety and compliance. What is driving the shift towards making packaging a strategic lever for sustainability today?
Absolutely. If you look, pharmaceutical industry from almost in past have primarily been focusing on protective shell, something that ensures safety, stability, regulatory compliance. But things have been changing today, and it's converging towards three prolonged powerful forces. One, obviously, from a regulation. Governments are not only looking at product safety, they are also looking at the environmental footprinting of the packaging through different mechanisms like extended producer responsibility, we call it EPR, packaging waste rule, carbon disclosure framework. And that's why it has become as one of the regulatory spotlights. Second, as you see, there's a convergence towards science and product complexities through which pharmaceuticals are moving towards biologicals, high potential APIs, temperature sensitive therapies, and packaging is no longer a passive mechanism. It has become a reactive and active mechanism. And material choices are affecting, directly in the drug stability, extractability, shelf life, making packaging a core part of the overall R&D strategy as well. And then finally, both from the market and the consumer, which is the patient's expectation, they are looking at not only effective healthcare pharmaceutical products, but they are also looking at effectively and responsibly delivering those medicines to them. And sustainability has become a proxy mechanism to ensure the trust and quality. So hence, we see these shift towards packaging from moving as a cost center to a strategic lever to influence carbon footprinting, market access, patient outcomes, and long-term competitiveness.
Thank you, Kapil. How are evolving global regulations such as packaging waste rules and carbon related frameworks reshaping pharma packaging strategies? And how should companies prepare for what lies ahead?
So I did elaborate about some of these, regulations like packaging EPR, packaging waste rules, EPR, cross-border carbon mechanisms that are forcing pharmaceutical companies to rethink about their material, their sourcing, and their reporting. And there's a direct effect of in the packaging decision, especially in the markets like Europe. So the best prepared companies are building their complete carbon reporting as well as the complete recyclability in a most transparent, foolproof manner for their materials that they're using, which can provide them, mechanisms to be very transparent to their regulatory aspects as well as to their customers. And they are also collaborating closely with their suppliers to reduce all the possible emissions in their beyond the production boundaries, which is not in their control. And finally, they are looking to keep themselves ahead of any regulatory landscape because pharmaceutical is an industry which are highly regulated. And with the new carbon regulations and the packaging rules, they have to be ahead of the game.
Thank you. What material innovations are emerging in sustainable pharmaceutical packaging, and how can companies balance sustainability goals with product stability, safety, and performance requirements?
See, safety, product stability is paramount in a pharmaceutical environment. Um, But in terms of pharmaceutical packaging, which comes as to the end consumer, there has been a significant momentum that has been in the overall material science. Some of the examples are, if you look from an top layer of film, which we call as blisters, have recyclable mono material films that are coming. Halogen-free laminations are there. There are polymers which are made out of bio-based materials, which are completely biodegradable as well as have carbon neutrality. And when you see at the bottom, you have this aluminum foil. These aluminum foils are coming from, I would say, purely green, but low carbon aluminum foils are available, which are coming through the recyclability of aluminum. So aluminum as a product can be recycled multiple times. Then there are different, materials that are being put into the packaging, have significantly start looking from a two perspective. What is their embodied ambition from the carbon standpoint of view to reduce its intensity? And second, in what ways this recyclability can be brought back or a circular? So if I use a material today, can I reuse back? So what pharmaceutical companies are doing without compromising on the safety and stability and the performance, they have started to integrate the overall packaging material in such a manner that you can benefit from the material that has been used, which is carbon neutral and emission reduced. There are mechanisms through which they are creating barriers in the performance from the drug to the packaging, in which performance are not compromised, but the overall sustainability factors are increased. They have increasingly using cleaner materials, which reduces drug pack interactions, leachability, protein aggregation, especially for the biologics. So hence, sustainability has become an integral part of the overall R&D and its validation from a long-term perspective that we are seeing as an emerging trends.
Thank you. What role do digital and smart packaging solutions such as traceability, smart labeling, and data transparency play in improving sustainability, safety, and supply chain efficiency?
And thank you for asking this question because, in today's world where we are talking about AI, data centers, and sustainability, digital and technologies plays a significant role. So some of the technology we already know, which has significantly impacted the financial services industry. Now we see its applicability in the pharmaceutical packaging industry, such as QR codes, serialization, NFRs, NFCs, smart centers, which improve the overall traceability of the material that has been used, reducing the counterfeiting thing, ensuring the enhancement of the overall safety, which in a way the outcome is the sustainability benefits that one can see through. The second, if I kind of look from uh, another point of view, a lot of the times, there is over packaging, there is a lot of wastage that happen in the overall packaging systems. So instead of using, uh, manual processes, digital processes and automation has and robotics has come in, which reduces the amount of over packaging. It reduces the amount of wastage that are there in the overall supply chain. Then there is a real-time tracking, which improves the integrity, reduce the product loss, reduces quality giveaway, which in a way helps in the overall carbon footprinting reduction. And then obviously, when you look from an operational perspective, data transparency obviously leads to faster recalls, better demand planning, lower inventories, as well as supports the overall regulatory compliance, which becomes auditable, recorded across the different geographical diversions that are there in the different geographies of the markets that a pharmaceutical company is operating. So in short, smart packaging is turning it and as a data enabled asset from a static container where there was nothing that can be done in the erstwhile time to now in a digital world.
Thank you. How can pharma companies practically adopt circular economy models for packaging? And what are the key challenges in implementing these across complex global supply chains?
So, if I may, I would like to start with challenges and then provide the perspective on what can be done. So, when you're looking from a circularity, the main challenges is the uneven recycling infrastructure. It's completely, unorganized. There is no common harmonization of regulation. It's all fragmented. Each country, each geography has their own set of regulation. There's no way to verify if things are being done in the right manner, especially when it comes to the various countries. As India, we are second largest from a plastic pollution standpoint of view. So getting it all right from the time it exits your factory and bringing it back, which is the definition of circularity, becomes a challenge. So you need the whole ecosystem to work together with you, not just a single company initiative. It has to be the overall supply chain in a circular manner than a linear manner. So those are the challenges. Now, what can a company do in its own controllable manner, where there is opportunity from a circular economy? During the time of the packaging itself, the design should be built, the R&D should be done in a manner where the recyclability of the overall packaging that is done should be on the higher side of recyclability. So when you're designing it, you make the recyclability content with safety and stability in place so that tomorrow when it comes back for recycling, the players who are in the ecosystem can recycle 100% of it. So that's something that a company can do to increase its circular economy side of things. Second is the steps in the overall practical scenarios that can be done, like they can have take back programs, better way of segregation of the source that comes through of these cycling, and obviously collaborate in a multimodal recycling business models. Some of the things that we have observed companies are significantly doing is having take-back models and shared infrastructures of recycling, which has been co-funded by not only the packaging companies, but their end pharmaceutical customers as well. And this is then further enhanced, which we just talked about from the digital standpoint of view, to have a complete traceability and fulfillment of regulatory compliances. So in that ways, I think these challenges can be solved with some of the things that the packaging companies can do in the pharmaceutical value chain.
Thank you. Beyond compliance, how does sustainable packaging create long-term business value? And what trends do you believe will define the future of pharmaceutical packaging over the next decade?
Okay, so I'll break down this question in two parts. One is obviously looking at sustainable packaging, creating value in three enduring manners. One, obviously, it reduces the overall risk factors that are there from regulatory, price volatility, supply disruption. Commercial benefits are there because you can reduce your carbon footprint and your carbon prices are reduced. Traceability reduces the overall, supply chain losses. You can always charge a premium if you are more sustainable company, which also provides a brand reputation. And finally, innovation and efficiency. The lighter the weight of packaging reduces the logistics cost. Digital integration helps in terms of overall cost reduction with the time to the market and improving the performance. With the patient centric, like we say, customer centric, we are looking now at a patient centric packaging, providing product level carbon traceability, alignment with the global regulation, technology, and sustainability. Thus, ultimately, the future of pharmaceutical packaging lies in the system that protects patients, preserves the planet through a sustainable mechanism, and strengthen the long-term growth of the companies that are, future ready.
Thank you, Kapil, for sharing your perspectives on how sustainable packaging can create a meaningful impact across the pharmaceutical value chain.
Thank you for having me and having this discussion. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you to our listeners for tuning into this episode of EVA India Insights. We look forward to bringing you more conversations on the ideas shaping the future of business. Thank you.